engineering surveyor. I'd go out, do set out, right? Up close. That's
Why? Are you listening?
So my background prior to coming to Visibuild was I was a engineering surveyor. So I was mostly just out of the field, doing set out, ads builds, just going from site to site, getting those done. And I did that for about 2 years. And I felt like I needed a career change. And that's where I was talking to my good mate about Visibuild, about leaving the industry. And I wanted to, a fresh start somewhere new. And, Adnan, Haser, shout out. He actually told me about Visibuild and told me about how great they are. And he actually reached out for me to MJ, who reached out to Ferg. And before I knew it, I also had an interview with Ferg, and then I was having an interview with Quinny. And within a short amount of time, I started at Visibuild, and I just loved it ever since. That's how I kind of got here. Awesome.
So my background is, after I left school, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do. So I ended up starting my carpentry apprenticeship, which I actually really loved. As I sort of got into the industry more, I then wanted to become a bit more office-based. So decided to do my diploma at RMIT, did my building construction diploma. Through that, I then started working as a grad PC for Camillo Builders, which had an unbelievable time with. Couldn't speak highly enough about them. And then through that, I just sort of got a little bit burnt out as I went along. So I then made the massive, drastic career change to start selling milk and cheese for Bega, which was fun for a little bit, but sort of knew very quickly that wasn't the end game, and that's not what I wanted to do. So wanted to get back into construction on a bit of a different capacity. So started following Visibuild, and through there, Quinny, I can't remember what he posted, but he posted something on LinkedIn. I sent him a message, and then next second I was getting a coffee with Ferg, and before I knew it, I was at the Christmas party before I'd even started. So that's how I got to Visibuild, helped through with it.
I think how I'll describe as someone on site is, as a project coordinator, part of the customer success team, it's really about making their experience as good as it possibly can be. So in any way, shape or form, helping them out, helping them achieve their goals is built. Yeah. How about you?
I suppose what I'd say is, when it comes to quality, I'm your best friend. I'll be onboarding your project, setting everything up, training your teams, training your subbies, just making sure the whole quality process itself is running smoothly. And, anytime you need the help, my team will be there for you.
Yeah, so we're always thinking about what the customer wants and needs and the feedback that they're giving us. And I guess what I've realized through the construction tech industry is just how much goes into actually creating that. Because everyone's feedback is quite niche. And because everyone's feedback is very niche, it's just about sort of deciphering what we're creating and how that's actually going to positively impact the visible customers.
Well, one thing I definitely didn't expect is how much sushi these guys eat. It's ridiculous. I think every day they're munching wogs. I guess managing my time effectively, especially as I was getting more and more clients handed to me and I'm managing more and more projects. It's just like finding a way to efficiently manage, where do I put my efforts, what tasks do I complete first. I think that was definitely a challenge at the start, but something that I've, overcome now.
As my role as a project coordinator at my previous job, I was really heavily involved in the defect process, and whenever I was doing the defects, I would always think to myself, like, there just has to be a better way to do this. It was just so time consuming. And seeing a platform like Visibuild and other platforms that are out there now, it's just completely opened my eyes up to how much time you can save and how much more efficient defecting can be. And who knows, maybe I wouldn't be here and maybe I wouldn't be burnt out if it was for Visibuild that matter. I think the hardest skill I found you have to learn in construction was probably like your communication skills. I found that no matter how much knowledge and how much experience you had, if you couldn't communicate like internally to the client, to the subcontractors as a builder, it all really fell apart.
I suppose my favorite thing about working with our customers is just being able to help them and solve their problems. Like, it's a great feeling when they've had some issue they've been struggling with for a while, and you're able to just get in there, solve that for them, and see on the other side a smile on their face or a chat message come through saying thanks, legend. Like, it's always a great feeling.
One of the best things I have found about working with our customers is that they're bringing me real life problems that I actually used to have in the industry. And there's something super satisfying about them bringing that issue to me going back to them with the solution and actually solving it. I'm like, if I had someone like this when I was in their position, it just would have been incredible, for real.
Best thing about working at Visibuild, I've got to say, is hands down the culture, to be honest. That was a big change from anything I've ever experienced before in a workplace. Like, it doesn't just feel like, I'm co-workers with the rest of the team. I actually feel like I'm genuinely mates. Like, we all just, get along, talk shit, and just get our work done at the same time. From getting, coffee club every Tuesday to going to the golf simulator with Quinny and, I'm hitting some shotgun balls, but that's all right. Just genuinely, just the culture is fantastic, and the CS team in particular, I feel like we're all just great mates, and whenever I need any help, whenever they need any help, everyone's just happy to be there for one another, and I think that's probably my favorite thing about, working in this team.
The best thing I've found so far about working at Visibuild is probably the culture as well. I haven't really been a part of a job or a company before where you get to experience something that you're creating or selling and everyone genuinely loves the product. I love the idea of it as well, that it's a bit on site, bit in the office. So I feel like maybe you can get cooped up in the office sometimes, but going to site once a week, it's cool to sort of get back to what you're actually doing and how you're helping and seeing that visually, and not just behind a desk. The other thing I love about it is that I feel like everyone is just as important as each other. And if you have feedback and you want to be heard, you will be heard. And there's no hierarchy. If you think something needs to change, you want something to change, you can go speak to Ryan or Quinny. And if it's a good idea, they'll change it.
If I could swap roles with anyone in the Visibuild team, it would probably have to be someone in the sales team like Hilly. I mean, imagine spending your days just whining and dining clients and playing golf. Doesn't get better than that, honestly.
If I could swap jobs with anyone for the day, probably be either Maze or Lily in the marketing team. I think in the short time I've been here, I've probably been made to do more media than actually CS work. They seem to just sit behind the camera and take videos and photos of everyone. So from what I see so far, it's a pretty easy gig. Yeah.
Tell me about it, man.
Y'all some haters. I'm editing this.
This year, it's definitely got to be the let's go. What's that one? From Squid Game, the new say, is it when they're like, let's go, so good. That's definitely my most used one.
I think my most used one so far has been the I don't know. It's hard.
Which one's that?
What is one word to describe Visibuild?
I don't know one word, but I'd probably say no bullshit is how I describe Visibuild, to be honest.
My one word would be passion.